Hello beautiful peeps of YouTube and welcome back to the channel. My name is Kat and you're watching Planning Calm. And here in this channel, I love to share with you all the many ways I can help you plan your way to calm and plan a calmer life. I apologize for the state of my voice. I am sick right now, very sick, but I can't stay away. I just love this community so much and I love filming for you guys. So if you could bear with me as I kind of sniffle my way through this video, much appreciated because I love sharing. And I've also had an injury. I've hurt my knee working out, and it's just both of those things have kind of set me back. Apologize if I sound a little bit rough, but that's what I'm dealing with right now. So there it is. But I would love to know, how are you doing, Calm Fam? Let me know in the comments down below. And tell me how you're doing, how you're keeping, how's the fam, how are the kids, all that good stuff. I love to know if you care to share in the comments down below. But in this video, I want to share something that I've actually been getting and receiving a lot of questions on, and I have all year through my Instagram and also in TikTok and also in the comments here. And that is, Kat, what do you write in your planners? What can I write in my planner? I have no idea what to track. And so I thought I would make a video just to talk about some things that we can track, some ideas we can track. And I have collected about 10 ideas for tracking in your planner if you want to know what to track and why. So that's what this video is going to be about today. If you like this sort of content, I would love for you to hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel, because I'm telling you, come 2026, the Calm Fam, we're blowing up. We are making things happen. I have some things in the works that I'm excited to roll out for you folks, and I can't wait to share. And I'm starting something new, and I'm also excited about that. So again, wait for the new year. Make sure you're subscribed so that you will not miss the updates. So in front of me here, I have a number of planners. I have my Sterling ink planner here. I'm just going to get the glare off there if I can. This is going to be my everyday carry, and this is the Sterling ink common planner in the N2 size, along with this one, which is going to be my fitness planner. And then I also have a Hobonichi. Now, the reason why I have both these planners here is because I get a lot of questions on people who want to downsize their planners. So either carry a pocket size or a traveler's notebook size like this size here, similar to the Weeks, but they're afraid that they won't be able to fit all the things they need to fit, and then they don't know what to fit in and then how to set it up. So I'm actually using this is an old Hobonichi that, as you can see, was from about 2 years ago, almost 3, that I don't like to waste things at all. I either will find a way to repurpose them or, give them a new life somehow, or gift them to somebody, what have you, just because I don't like to see things go to waste. So for this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out a sample of how you can lay out your planner, regardless of the size, so that you know how to plan and what to plan. Reason why I decided to use this book as well is because these are going to be my primary, that in addition to some other planners and of course my notebook planner. Can't forget my notebooks. These are going to be my primary sources of organization for the next year. So I like to use old planners, and you can even take a photocopy of this and kind of play around with it just to kind of get some ideas as to how the layout is going to work for you, how the planner is going to work for you, how you want to organize things, all that good stuff. So that's my tip to you. Before you dive in and, start messing around with the planner, have a go at something rough, like a rough copy of something, so that you can kind of get a sense of it. So the first thing that I'm going to be using my planner for this coming year, and I've used it for all the years I've been planning, is number 1. And number 1 here is my TWG, or my time with God. So my time with God is what the various activities that I do in order to build and grow my relationship with Christ. As a Christian, my faith is very important to me, and so I need to have that as part of a daily practice. So even if I'm not putting in a Bible verse every day or a prayer every day, I need to make sure that I am putting in something in my planner to remind me about my journey with Christ. So put it on this side, the right side of the planner, just because that's how my brain works. The moment I open up my planner, no matter what planner it is, my attention is brought to the right of the planner. So I tend to put those type of, heartfelt things closest to me on that side. But that's just how my brain works. You do you, basically. So my time with God, so Bible verses, prayers, prayer requests, anything related to that walk of faith, that goes in number one. So that's the first thing. My second thing that I think is important to capture in a planner, at least according to me, is a to-do list. Now, to-do list is something that I love to use, and I love to use check boxes here as well, because it captures the things I need to do. These are actionable items that I need to accomplish either that day or later on in the week. And so having a box there or a check mark or whatever allows me to, once I accomplish a task, I can either cross it out or I can give it a check. And that gives me the gratification that I've been productive and that I got things done. Now, the third thing I like to note in my planner, and something that I would highly encourage you to do as well, is to put any deadlines. Now, deadlines are something that's easy to overlook. I'm telling you, I've missed a deadline or two. And so that's why I think it's important to put it in a place that you're going to be able to see it and make note of it so that you can attend to it. Now, for myself and Mr. Calm, we have decided this year coming up, we are canceling everything. Our subscriptions, memberships, so no more Netflix, no more Apple this and, Amazon that. It's just a waste of time. And it's a lot of money. Those things add up. So we want to make sure that, we are canceling things at the appropriate time once the membership runs out. And, I even put the time there just in case I forget that I should do it at this time, etc. So this is a great thing to do. Writing in deadlines is a great idea. Now, the fourth thing that's really important to capture, and by the way I laid out this planner, I've created different sections and boxes. And in these smaller boxes, I did it purposely because whatever I put in here, I want to hone in and zone in on them because they're important. So I tend to put my money things here. But again, you do you. I'm just showing you what I do. And so number 4, these are spending trackers. Now, in 2026, I'm going to do a whole video just kind of reviewing what happened this year and moving forward, what I plan to do next year. I really want to make sure that I'm taking a hold of my spending. Both Mr. Calm and I, we spent a lot on unnecessary things this year, probably because our jobs are really stressful and that is our way of self-soothing. I'm no therapist or anything, but I think that has something to do with it. But this year we have a plan and we're thinking, we're going to cut down on the spending so that we can have more money to put towards debt, to save for renovations, etc., etc. So number 5 is a bill tracker. Now, bills come up and they come up frequently, and it's really important to make sure you know when the bill needs to be paid. So you can either do it 2 ways. You can put, when you want to make the payment, or you can put when, the bill has to be paid. Either way, you should make a note of it. So put what it is, what the bill is, and then how much the bill costs and needs to be paid. And then in the back of the planner, any planner, you can make a note, just like a running total of all the bills that you have paid, just to make sure that you know that you've paid them. So that's a great way to keep track. 6th idea is appointments. Now, appointments are something that it can be difficult to keep track of, especially if you have multiple people that you are keeping track of or keeping accountable for. But writing down the appointments is something that's very important, especially when you're doing your, the beginning of the week planner reset and you're kind of plugging in things that you need to do for the week. It is a great idea to plug in all the appointments you have, big or small, so that you know to plan your way and plan your week according to those appointments. So put the appointment name, who it's with, and the time of the appointment so that you can make sure that you get there on time and not be late for it. Now, the 7th thing I like to record in any planner is my gratitude. Now, this is something I'm going to really focus on for the new year because I think gratitude is so important. Comment down below if you agree as well. And, just putting in just a simple piece of gratitude, whether that is, something you're grateful for specifically or, something altogether like world peace or, a bigger ideal. I just think it's important to put something that you're grateful for each and every day or at least a couple times a week. It just really changes your mindset and it sets you up for just a more successful life, I think. And then number 8, the 8th thing is a family schedule. Now, Mr. Com and I, we do not have kids ourselves. It's just the two of us. But for those of you who do have kids, I think it's a great idea to just input a little family schedule within your planner. Now, a planner this size, there's still room available to make that happen. And I love the fact that, these planners, whether it is, the Hobonichi Weeks or the common planner, like you still have room to do those things. So it just matters like how you set it up, and then you can capture all the things that you want. Now, the thing I love about this new planner as opposed to the Hobonichi, just for comparison, I like the fact that it is slightly bigger. So it still has kind of the same blueprint of it, but it gives you more room to groove because the simple design takes away all the extras. So you just focus on the date itself, which then gives you more room. But again, for the sake of sampling this in this video, I wanted to do it in a Hobonichi, and that's okay too. It doesn't matter what planner you have, the same rules and concepts still apply. So when it comes to planning for your family or having a family schedule, it's nice to write out when what kid has what so that you can organize rides, coordinate snacks and meals, things like that. So a family schedule is a great thing to include. Number 9 are groceries, a grocery list. Now, I don't know about you, but Mr. Com and I, we struggle with this hoard. Comment down below if you're struggling with your grocery list as well. But I think eventually we need to come up with a capsule grocery list, something that we use all the time. I think we've talked about that in, other videos. But I think it's really important. And so even jotting down some items, grocery items, and you can do this multiple times a week, just depending on your needs, or you can do it once a week and do a big shop. Whatever it is, putting your grocery list in a planner, I think is a great idea. So that's number 9. Number 10 is a mini journal. I think sometimes when we're just busy lifing, we're just busy living life, sometimes we forget those small moments. So like maybe if your kid lost a tooth or, you accomplished a task that you're really happy about. Whatever it is, I think capturing the small moments in a journal form statement is a great idea. So something that you can look back on and feel proud of yourself for accomplishing it. And 11, this is my bonus idea, is a cleaning checklist. Now, cleaning is really important to me because for me, having a clean, organized space is one of my tickets to a calmer life. And so whether it's my classroom, our bedroom, my house overall, I try to keep my home clean and organized because it just makes me feel calmer and it makes me feel put together. Now, some people, they would prefer a chaotic environment, and that's okay. We're all different. It's just having a clean space just works for me. So I like to put in my cleaning schedule in terms of things that I want to clean either that day or that week, and just make a note of that so that it, sadly, it gives me something to look forward to because I love to clean. Comment down below if you're the opposite of me. But it gives me something to look forward to, especially vacuuming. I love vacuuming, doing laundry, all those good things. It's just really important to I sound crazy. I know. Still love me, Com fam. Oh, but it's okay. We're all different and that's okay. But anywho, it's really important to put down a cleaning schedule because it just helps you keep on track of the tasks you need to get done. Or you could even incorporate that in your to-do list for number 2 if you wanted to, not have a separate list or space for that. But again, you can plan the way you want and do it that whatever way works for you. So there you have it, my friends. Those are my 11 ideas to include in any planner, especially planners that tend to be smaller in size, like the Hobonichi Weeks or the N2 size planners. I hope this video was helpful for you. I know when I saw the original creators post, it was really helpful for me and just helping me to organize my thoughts and my activities for the week ahead. And so this is what this channel is all about. It's about trying to make and take away the complications around planning and make planning simple and calming so that you can feel productive, you can accomplish your tasks, and you can just feel good about your life instead of feeling stressed and feeling chaotic and all that stuff. There's no need for that. When you just have simple things and you just track and tally simple things, it just makes such a difference in how you approach life. And you know what? in full transparency, sometimes you may not be able to track it down because you're that busy, and that's okay. You can either back plan or just make a note in your journal or in your planner saying that you were too busy to plan and move on, honey. You don't need to feel guilty because you didn't fill the planner in. That's just added stress on you, and nobody needs that. So I hope this was helpful, my friends. If you found it helpful, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe because there are exciting things happening in the new year with the Calm Fam. So I don't want you to miss any of that. So take care, my friends, and until the next time, take care, be well, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye, Planner peeps.